Hey guys, Indigo here. Wanted to make a quick video, mainly for my guild for Territory Wars, but everybody can watch it. And it's how to efficiently bust through a Bossk wall. We come up on those a lot in Territory Wars, and time again I see one of them goes 2, 3, multiple battles, and there's really not a need for that because there's so many teams out there. Besides the top teams, we're not going to waste Jedi Revan or Darth Revan or Traya. We don't need to waste those. But there's several other teams you can use to take out a few Bossk squads and get good banners for your, for your guild, for my guild. And we don't have to worry about losing 5 or 10 to efficiency. So here's 5 teams you can use that aren't the top meta teams, so you don't have to waste those. And I'm going to show each one to you and how easy it is to take out these bounty hunter teams. Okay, first up we've got Imperial Troopers. This is a pretty standard counter to bounty hunters. If you haven't geared up your Imperial Troopers, you should, because we use them in every single territory war. We use them in TB, we use them in Grand Arena. They're one of the most kind of all-around combat teams you can use. You could basically auto this bounty hunter team. It takes like 30 seconds if you have decent troopers. So, look at that. I mean, shredding through them like nothing. There you go. 20 banners, done. This next team is one of my favorites. I use it in a lot of my Grand Arena videos, and it's just your crew first order team. So if you've got crew and you haven't put this team on defense in a first order wall somewhere and you still have it, it's perfect for taking out a great bounty hunter squad. You can use crew's special. It gives a 2-turn stun that can't be resisted. Use that on Bossk, so no matter how fast he is, whatever, as long as you can go before him, he's not going to get the taunt off. So even if he has double Zeta, you'll be able to control him. It's all about controlling the battle. And then just keep throwing turn meter from officer over to executioner. Let him keep doing the big damage, taking out big chunks of protection and health off everybody. He's going to be your main damage dealer. You got First Order Stormtrooper. I highly recommend the Zeta on there because then he spreads around advantage and calls in assists. It just helps heal up your team, so that's good. And old school Zeta Kylo, you want to just AoE with him as much as you can because it feeds turn meter to everybody with advantage and all the First Order. So you just want to spam his middle move. Keep giving turn meter. You can stun somebody if you have to, but you usually don't have to. And you just want to keep ramping up executioner's turn meter and letting him go to town. And you can see here you end up with usually Bossk and Dengar left over. So you just keep working on Bossk. He's got that extra defense. But keep doing damage to him. When he comes out of stun, just stun him right back again. You can see Executioner starts, once he builds up, starts taking out decent chunks. And once they get that protection gone, then he can take out a good bit of health. So keep doing the AoE with Kylo. Keep knocking it out with Executioner. Once that protection's gone, he's gone. So there he goes. Just Dengar left. Plenty of time left on the clock. Just work him down. Once you get that stun back, you can even stun him if you want, but he shouldn't be able to go and do much of anything to you. We don't have to worry about full protection and health in territory wars. Just worry about clearing the board in one go. So 20 banners for that. The third team I want to show you is one that you, I'm sure, have seen in a lot of videos. It is one of the top counters for bounty hunters, and it's your JTR resistance. And you don't even need to throw R2 in there. There's other different ones you can add. In here, I just happen to bring Resistance Trooper, Scav Ray, and Poe. just because he can do the mass expose and throw up some buff immunity. So sometimes that's helpful. But you can even, if you have a well-geared chopper, throw him in there because he'll be able to dispel buffs and taunt, and he's got droid synergy with BB-8. So consider that. You can see just how easily it gets through this team. Resistance definitely can put their work in. You just want to keep grinding them down with Rey's second move where she puts the healing immunity on, and you want to keep waving at Bossk so you can reduce his turn meter and keep him ability blocked so that he can't get the taunt off. That's the biggest strategy overall, is that you don't want him to taunt, especially if he's double Zeta, because then you'll be forced to focus on him while the side bounty hunters will put work in on you, especially if they have Boba, and you could end up losing some teammates that way. And then you'll lose banners. So definitely try to reduce his turn meter, keep him ability blocked, buff immunity doesn't hurt. All that stuff's going to help you. You can see he's the last one left, but once you get him down and resistance gets going, there's nothing he can do. So another 20 banners. So the next counter I wanted to show you guys was a Bastila Jedi team, with her lead given extra bonus protection and tenacity as long as they have that bonus protection. It makes them pretty stout and tanky to be able to take on this bounty hunter team. You can see the flow of the battle goes a little bit different compared to other battles, but right there we already knocked out the weakest bounty hunter. Now it's just their 4 versus our 5. So we just have to kind of grind them down. It's a little bit different because you don't have the control as far as being able to reduce turn meter and keep the taunt off. You've got dispels under Bastila and then Ezra, so use those effectively to get rid of taunt. But if Bossk is a double Zeta, he's still going to taunt as long as you have protection, and since they have the bonus protection, that's going to be for a good while. And you're going to be forced to grind him down before you can work on any of the other side bounty hunters. So you can see that's what I'm doing here. And like I said, the flow of this battle goes a little bit different compared to the previous counters. You just got to expect that and kind of know what you're doing if you're going up against a really stout bounty hunter team. And their contract went off, and that gives them a 50 speed bonus, but that's okay. Even though they're moving fast, you have the tankiness in this whole team that you can kind of put up with that. And you've got, if you have the Zeta on Hermit Yoda, he'll be given protection back whenever he does that big heal. And he also gives turn meter when he uses his basic. So that's going to help you kind of keep the pace a little bit. You've got the heal on crits from Zarus's Zeta. So even if the protection was gone, you'd be able to at least heal on that. So it's a little bit different, but you can see just grinding Bossk down. Finally, he's gone. Now you start working on the next weakest bounty hunter, which here happens to be Greedo. Since he's a little bit squishier, we want to try and focus on him. Took him out. Now you got Dengar and Boba left. Right there, Boba just executed Obi-Wan. That's the one thing you got to worry about, is with your stacking up a bunch of buffs under this team, that makes his execute hit pretty hard. But he's gone. No big deal. Work on him. Work on Dengar as the last one. And that team's done. Okay, the last team I wanted to show you guys was, believe it or not, Ewoks. I know there's some people out there. This guy I know, Klesso, he likes to use Ewoks to kill First Order. But they work just as well against a bounty hunter team if Bossk doesn't have the double Zeta. So you may not get away, be able to get away with it in Grand Arena, but in Territory Wars where everybody's putting their bounty hunters down, you're going to see some are not as good as others, you know, and if you see the single Zeta or some lower geared in there, it might be a prime candidate for this Ewoks squad. Takes a little bit of work, but once they get going, I was surprised they can really do some damage. And I mean, what else are you going to use your Ewoks on? You know, they seem like they're weak, and a lot of people think, oh, they can't do very much, they're kind of useless. And these are mine. I've got Zeta on Chirpa, of course that's mandatory. I've also got Zeta on Wicket, and that helps a bit. I've got Gear 12 on Wicket and Elder, I think. And then the rest are just Gear 11. So, and they're just so mods. Nothing too fancy. I didn't 6E anything or anything like that. You can see that their whole thing is to do a bunch of little hits, and they get a bunch turn meter. So focus on trying to get everybody dazed if you can, and then try to worry about dispelling buffs like Bossk taunt. And you can do that with Paplu. I think it's on his basic that he will dispel the buffs. And I don't know all the nuances and everything of Ewoks, but you can use Elder primarily to bring everybody back and keep everybody healed. So when you call Ewoks with Wicket, you can call Elder, and I think then he gains stealth. And also every time you call him, whatever with his basic, he gets turn meter too, or gives turn meter to the team. I'm not sure, again, on all the little interactions they have with each other, but I know that they call each other to assist all the time, and they give up a bunch turn meter, and they like to buff up and do all that. So that's going to help them hit that much harder. So as long as you don't have the second Zeta on the enemy Bossk team, he won't keep that constant taunt with the protection in it, as long as your Ewoks have protection. So it's much easier to get that off of him and then go to work on the next weakest bounty hunter that you have. And that's what I did here. You can see it's down already to 3 bounty hunters versus all 5 of my Ewoks. You just got to make sure you don't get executed, because I don't think then they can revive. Elder can't bring them back. So just try and make sure that you keep the turn meter down as much as you can to keep Boba from going or keep him ability blocked. And that's all I do here. Keep him to where he doesn't gain much turn meter. But now he's the last one standing. You can throw it on auto and just let the Ewoks do their thing. And it's, you know, it's not hard. It takes a minute. You can see the clock winding down, but there's still enough time. Even though he's got that bounty hunter's resolve and comes back, they go fast enough that they can knock him out. So there you go. All right, that's 5 non-meta teams that you can easily use to counter a Bossk wall. So there you go. Shout out to my buddy Mikayas. He runs a modding service. He'll go through, make sure you got the right squad compositions and the right mods on the right characters. Give your account a real nice tune-up. I'll put the link to his Discord in my description. Go ahead and check him out. Tell him Indigo sent you. Thanks for watching my video, guys. If you enjoyed the video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe, share your comments down below, and hopefully you'll check out my other videos on my channel. Peace.